What's up, everybody? Welcome to, I guess this would be Kylie and Cole episode numero cuatro. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not up to speed on my Spanish, but we are here. We're going to talk a little bit of Chiefs versus Bears and the non-stressful game. We may mention somebody that was there. I know some people get triggered by the name of a particular megastar. Well, we'll talk about that just briefly. We're also going to talk about the most updated injury report. There's a couple interesting people on there that popped up. Most people were full participants, but there was one limited that's concerning to me. We're also going to share with you guys how you can win this football signed by Creed Humphrey himself. And then we're going to preview Chiefs versus Jets. And so we're going to get into it. But first, how about those Chiefs? All right. Before we get into the giveaway, Kylie, how the heck are you? Did you go to the game? Because last stream you were talking about you were undecided if you were going to the game or if you were going to cook from home. What did you end up doing? And if you stayed home, what did you eat?
Oh, sad to say, I did not. We did not make it to the game. We just couldn't, at the end of the day, we just couldn't make it happen. So a little bit of a bummer because obviously there was a lot of excitement. It was a fun game to be at, but I know a lot of people had a great time. But instead, we did stay home. We actually grilled wings. So this was like something that's been on our list for a while to get into. Wings and football, you know, they go hand in hand. So we did we smoked some wings and got a bunch of different sauces going and had like fries and dips and stuff. So went all out with the food per usual. So we actually ended up having a really great time. And then, of course, the chaos ensued at the game and that made it even crazier here. So it was a lot of fun and it was beautiful weather both here and at the game. So we still had a great time. And it was really great to see the Chiefs, you know, do what they do, kind of return back to normal some with that offense. So it was good. What'd you do? Oh, you streamed. I always forget you do your live stream. I'm always like, what'd you eat?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I streamed and it was honestly a great time. We were having fun. I was trolling around, laughing it up. We grabbed the freaking Chiefs belt. I had that bad boy out in the first half. Then Mahomes' ankle goes like this when somebody rolled into him, Yannick Ngakoue. And my mood and demeanor pretty much, it didn't do this. But I definitely tapered my excitement, energy levels, everything. Everything dropped by like 30% because I'm over here like, you gotta be kidding me. Week 3, this dude is on the field writhing in pain again. Same ankle, by the way, that he injured postseason against the Jags. We find out later that it's a little bit different kind of a sprain, but like my fear is the same ankle getting aggravated again after it was pretty jacked up in the postseason. He rehabbed it all offseason. And then, so my mood, I was happy for the win. Don't get me wrong. But my mood was not as happy as it normally would be with a healthy Mahomes escaping that game. Now, he's on the injury report. He's listed as a full participant. I don't know that I'm overly concerned for the long term of the season. But it definitely put a little bit of a damper on the overall mood for me personally during that game. Your thoughts on that when it happened?
Oh, I tried to like block that out. You brought it up and I was like, oh yeah, he did do that.
We have to talk about it.
I know. I wince anytime anyone touches him out there on the field because, you know, he's Patrick Mahomes. He's the guy. But you never want to see that. I felt like too, wasn't that a play that like it could have been avoided? That was right around the time Juwan Taylor was getting some flags and penalties and we're like, all this happens and then he gets hurt. Like there's already enough going on around the Juwan Taylor thing. A lot of, I don't think it's fair. I know we'll probably get into that a little bit later, but could have been avoided. Felt like it could have been avoided for sure. So it was definitely really frustrating to see him go down like that. He's a tough guy. He stuck it out. He went back on the field. I was shocked that he actually came back out. I think it was in the third quarter. He came back out. I really thought that coming out of the half. Yeah. We were up by like, what was the score at halftime? Like 34 or something.
34.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 34 because they scored a TD on that drive. That was Kelsey's touchdown. Right. And then they pulled the starters 41-0. And then it was 41-10 by the end.
That's right. Because I don't think we scored again after that to Kelsey. But no, I was surprised. Not. I think on that drive though, he broke a record for fastest QB to 25,000 yards, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that maybe had something to do with it. And then, of course, the touchdown to Kelsey, he was trying to get him in the end zone. So I think he wanted to come out and had some unfinished business for the game. But I was like, just sit him down. It's fine. We don't need him the second half. We should be fine. They didn't do that. They don't listen to me. That's all right.
Yeah, it was. We could actually talk about that for a second. A couple things to mention. Andy Reid is now the fourth overall in total wins as the head coach, which was really cool. He just passed up. Was it Tom Landry? Is that who it was?
Yes.
So he just passed him up, and then Mahomes is the fastest QB to 25,000 passing yards, beating Matt Stafford's previous record in 7 less games, I believe it was, which was pretty cool. And then Travis Kelce is only 3 touchdowns away from becoming second in franchise history in total touchdowns, and he would only be behind Priest Holmes. If he scores 3 more touchdowns, he will pass Tony Gonzalez, which is pretty cool.
I think I see that happening this season. I think that's going to happen in the next few games.
You know what's insane is how high Tyreek Hill is on that list. And if he would have stayed, he would have crushed him and Mahomes probably would have crushed like everything. But he's a Dolphin now, and they're balling out. We could probably talk about that too. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Dolphins they got blown out. It was embarrassing. Before we get any further, let me explain to you guys how you can win this Creed football. We're going to do the giveaway at the end of this stream. All you got to do, I pinned a comment in the live stream. You've got to click on the video link that is pinned to the comment, and I will show you because I'll share the screen here. The comment is going to take you to this video. It's me and Kylie last week's episode. What is going on with the Bears this week? It's the thumbnail with the Bears on fire. And you just got to comment hashtag Creed is good because we're giving away a Creed football. So it's not in the chat replay. You've actually got to go to the comments because it was a live stream. I set the example. Hashtag Creed is good. Go to that video. Comment hashtag Creed is good. It can be all caps, all lowercase, doesn't matter. At the end of the stream, we will run a random YouTube comment generator. One person's going to win. And then you just got to hit me up either on my Discord if you're a member or just hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. And I'll mail this bad boy out to you. This is from Chiefs Bids, who I'm partnered with for the season. And it's legit. It's got the sticker that basically says, hey, this person was there while the guy signed it. It's the same company I'm giving away all my signed custom merch through, so they're legit. And yeah, Creed is good and
Creed
a dog.
Is good.
So
Creed is
wanted
good.
to give you guys an opportunity to win some merch, man. With the partnership with them and then just a lot of your guys' generosity, we have a lot of merch just sitting over here, and I want to give it back. So that's what we're doing. So again, go to the video. I did not mean to do that. Come in. What happens if I do this? There we go. Go to this video. It's me and Kylie from last week. What is going on with the Bears this week? Cole and Kylie, episode 3. Comment hashtag Creed is good. And we'll get into it. So
it's such a good little gift. It's Creed.
Yeah, it's cool. Why not?
It's awesome.
Sign Creed. It's got the 52 on there. He's a dog. Should be a Chief for a long time. I would assume they bring him back. We'll see. There's a lot to decide, but that's a little bit in the future. Also, guys, if you do send any super chats or anything like that, we will get to it the last 10 minutes of the episode. So we'll save those to the end, and we'll rack those bad boys up, which I think Chiefs fan just dropped a 2-bomb, which I appreciate you, man. So We'll stack those up at the end. We'll answer any questions that you have. I will say this. The Juwan Taylor issue. Let's talk about that real quick. Because in the game against the Bears, Mahomes throws a 50-yard bomb to MVS before half. There's like 30 seconds left. It was going to be 40. No, I think at that time it would have been, they had 31. So I think it would have been 38-0 before half. Going crazy. Flag on the play. Juwan Taylor, illegal formation, whatever their call is for illegal formation. His second call in the past 2 minutes. They had another call on him like right around the 2-minute warning. Then they did it again. Basically in the second half, they pulled Juwan Taylor. We find out they weren't pulling him because he was in trouble. They wanted to see if the refs would flag Prince Tega Wanogho or Donovan Smith, who, per a report of Charles Goldman of A to Z Sports, said, he has a source that said, yeah, they wanted to see if the refs would flag any of the other offensive tackles. So they pulled Juwan Taylor. They had Donovan Smith step back a little bit deeper in his on the line than he normally would. And no flags were called. Now, if you want to say, well, that's BS, the Chiefs didn't do that, go look at my video that I just dropped tonight. I have coach's film of all those snaps that were being mentioned, and I put an arrow on it, just to show the line. Now, the problem with coach's film and really any film that you watch, it's never directly centered. Okay. So it's, if they're on the 40 and the camera's on the 50, you kind of have to use geometry skills. But Juwan Taylor was tagged twice in that game. Since the NFL crackdown happened, Kylie, there has been 3 calls on offensive tackles for lining up too deep in the formation. So an illegal formation called. 3 tackles have been called. Guess who they were?
Juwan Taylor.
All 3 of them.
I know.
All 3 of them. How? How is it a league-wide crackdown when it's literally the same offensive tackle? There's been 10 calls for illegal formations since week 1. So week 2 and week 3, there's been 10 total calls. 3 have been on an offensive tackle. Juwan Taylor all 3 times. The other 7 is somebody else, either a wide receiver, a tight end, or unnamed. That's freaking insane, dude. I am not the biggest conspiracy theorist in the world. I often shut that stuff down. But this is ridiculous. It's getting old. And it's getting old when Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes both speak post-game pressers fed up about it. Mahomes literally said, it's crazy. I don't understand it. He's not any deeper than Donovan Smith and he's getting flagged. I've seen other tackles and Mahomes literally said, he kind of stunted on him. He said, I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of tape. And we know Patrick Mahomes. He probably watches more tape than most people. He said, there's other tackles in the league lining up deeper. And then Andy Reid said it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Hopefully the league got their point across because they need to start focusing on other tackles as well. When they both speak out about it, it's a little bit of an issue. And I'm rambling, but I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any before we move to the next subject. Because that was a big thing that was talked about. And I just talked about it in today's video that I dropped for 5 minutes. It's kind of a big thing.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to thank Chris Collinsworth for being so brazen about it and speaking about it literally the entire time when we were playing the Lions to bring it to everybody's attention. And then what led to all of this initially was, him just going on and on about it. So thank you, Chris Collinsworth. Secondly, I would like to say that, yeah, Andy Reid definitely doesn't ever speak on anything refereeing or officiating. That's not really his bag. He's not one to
never does
point blame at other. No, never. Really? He's not one to point blame at the officials or anything like that. So that was really surprising. But that's also kind of that's kind of when there's something wrong here. So I'll say that when I was watching the game and I saw it happen those 2 times right before the half, I was like, oh my gosh, he's got to figure it out. They're clearly watching him. He's got to be able to figure out a way to get back on the field, play this game, and not get called for this. But then when you hear about all the other things going on around the league, or I guess I should say lack thereof, the calls that are being done around the league, it's ridiculous because I sat and watched, I think it was the Eagles the other night, Lane Johnson doing it. Rashawn Slater's out there doing it. So there's multiple videos going around where other tackles are clearly not lining up correctly and they're just getting away with it. So it's really frustrating to see them not only harp so much about it and send out this letter we're going to start cracking down on this, but you are now officially singling him out, and the proof is in the pudding, the proof is in the video, the proof is in the statistics. No one else is really getting called no other tackles are really getting called for this. Yep. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I think I know that Andy brought him out coming out of the half because he wanted to see who else are they going to call Prince Tega Wanogho on this? Are they going to call Donovan Smith on this? What's that going to look like? And obviously we know that they didn't get called on that, but I also think it's a mental game for him. He has to be able to overcome this mentally and think he's got to get out of his head. And I don't think he is too far in his head. And I think Andy Reid and the coaching staff do a really good job of making sure he knows, like, hey, you're doing a good job, and kind of still being his biggest cheerleader for that. But something's got to give. And I think I'm hoping something gives this next weekend. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they call, especially being in prime time. I mean, everybody's going to be watching. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But Juwan, if you're listening, we're on your side, man. We support you. Yeah.
He spoke to the media today in the locker room, and they asked him a couple questions about it. Juwan Taylor is a professional's professional, super kind and sincere in his answers. And he basically just said, I just need to keep working on it. And we all know he took the high road, because I sure as hell ain't taking the freaking high road. I mean, there's no high road to take. It's just the facts of what's happening. When you look across the league, and then we're moving on. When you look across the league, there's been 3 times since week 1 an offensive tackle has been called for illegal formation. All 3 Juwan Taylor, when it's supposed to be a league-wide crackdown. I'm like, you guys are on crack. You're talking about crackdown when you're literally smoking out of a pipe about it. So let's move on. Let's talk AFC West here just for a couple minutes. This wasn't even on the script, but the Chargers beat the Vikings in a thriller of a game. I didn't get to catch it live, but I watched the highlights after. It was crazy, down to the wire, game sealing pick in the end zone that would have allowed the Vikings to win had it been a touchdown. The Chargers walk away with the W. They had a crazy backwards pass that was set up like a wide receiver bubble screen, talking about the Chargers, and they threw a bomb all the way for a touchdown. Justin Herbert was looking good at times. Then Staley has his own team deep in the fourth quarter, deep in their own territory, run or go for it on 4th down, and they did not convert it. And that was what was going to set them up to lose the game. But somehow, some way, the Chargers got a game-ending INT in the end zone. Did you watch the highlights of that or see it?
I saw the last little bit of that game. I forget, I was watching another game and it cut over. But I feel like at this point, Brandon Staley is just trying to get fired, right? Like, these are decisions that you cannot make. And I think I saw something where statistically it's better to go for it there, because then they have so much of a chance to come back and win. Like, there's all these statistics, but I think at some point you have to push the statistics to the side and be like, what are we doing? They were on the 40? They were on
I think they were closer than that to their own side. I don't know where they were exactly, but they were closer than that. I could look it up, but it was closer, I believe.
Well, they gave the ball right back to the Vikings. They were basically in the red zone. The Vikings just had to go in and score, and then, of course, there was an interception. Not great for the Vikings. They were really trying to really handing them the game, and Chargers defense is not great. So the fact that they were able to get a pick in the red zone there was pretty surprising. I think that speaks a little bit more of the execution of Kirk Cousins in that offense. But
I will say this: Justin Jefferson is a DAWG. If he wants to come to Kansas City and chase rings, I will be more than happy about that one. He is so freaking good. He is unworthy. My editor Troy is a Vikings fan, so I don't think he's listening right now, but he is unworthy of wearing purple. I mean, geez Louise.
I know. He deserves He deserves a better organization. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, he deserves a better organization. And nothing against Kirk Cousins. I think he's a great guy. I loved watching him on quarterback, but he's getting up there in age, and I think his best days are maybe behind him. And we've got a guy here in Kansas City who's in his prime now. And man, could you imagine the Mahomes Jefferson connection? Could you?
I can imagine it. Will it ever happen? I don't know. I'd definitely lose my mind. Kirk Cousins,
he's pretty
by
pricey.
The way,
I don't know.
Kirk Cousins, by the way, is so white that a guy like me is instantly invited to the barbecue because of how non-pasty I am in comparison. This dude buys button-ups from like Macy's. It's so crazy. He's just a normal dude. I like him. Let's move on to Broncos Dolphins. Speaking of organizations that are, you want to talk about, Peyton's not in the hot seat because he can't be. They just traded multiple draft picks to get him there. You want to talk about insane? Mike McDaniel. He was a former ball boy of the Denver Broncos when he was younger. He also applied or wanted to interview for the Broncos head coaching position, reportedly. Wanted to apply for the Broncos head coaching position 2 years ago. They didn't even give him an interview. So, former ball boy walks into Denver. I think they were home. I don't know who played where, to be honest. But Either way, the Broncos got the brakes beat off them, 70-20 by former ball boy Mike McDaniel and the crazy fast Denver Broncos. Or Miami Dolphins, my bad. I mean, it was... Did you watch that game or see the highlights? Because that was a crazy one. Broncos 0-3 after that one.
I saw the highlights. It was crazy. I definitely feel like it was personal for Mike McDaniels. Like, he was definitely like, okay, you didn't want to hire me. I used to be the ball boy. Let's see how this goes. And of course, that offense is electric, not to take anything away from them, but it feels like it was extra personal for him. And I know you're saying that Sean Payton shouldn't be in the hot seat, or maybe he's not in the hot seat because of everything they did to acquire him. But
probably not yet.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, he was talking all this crap going into the season, talking bad about Nathaniel Hackett, shots fired, all this stuff. I know that Nathaniel Hackett did not lose by 50 points to anyone last year. So,
no.
And I mean, you can't even really blame Russ. I mean, there's a lot to blame on Russ, but I think he had a pretty decent game. I don't know his full stat line, but I think he threw for like 300 yards. Yeah, he did all right. But the defense was just laying down. I mean, I think at some point, you have to look at the personnel across the roster. I think you have to look at the coaching personnel. It's a dumpster fire. I don't know what else to say. I think I used that word last week for the Bears.
I love it so much.
But good news is the Bears and the Broncos get to play each other. So 2 dumpster fires playing each other should be entertaining, I guess.
Speaking of dumpster fires, there's one more we could talk about real quickly since we're talking AFC West. The Raiders lost to the Steelers. Did you watch that game, Sunday Night Football?
I did, yes.
So, 4th and 4, 4th and 5, Raiders trailing by 8 points. They're up near the Steelers 30, 25. They might have even been in the red zone or very close to it. You're talking a handful of minutes left or less. Trailing by 8, 4th down. They kick a field goal to then be trailing by 5. Give the ball back to the Steelers. And then by the time they actually did get the ball back, because they managed to get the Steelers to punt, Jimmy G and company had the ball way deep in their own territory. It was under 20 seconds left, something insane. No timeouts. So you're telling me wrong McDaniel, the other McDaniels, would Josh. Rather, Josh, the other guy, the guy that's not good. You're telling me he would rather have his team trailing by 5 and try to go score a touchdown with no timeouts and like 15 seconds left than go for it on 4th and 4. Like, I just do not understand it. And I don't even care because stack up the L's, baby. I mean, stack up the L's. I'm baffled.
Well, and then you like factor in the fact that he has Jimmy G, who we know is not great at the deep ball. And then I think he has a concussion. So he had a concussion during the game. He went back in, but now it's come out that he's in concussion protocol. So when you think about why are you trying to have him go for why kick a field goal when it was a terrible, terrible coaching decision. As a Chiefs fan, I've just got my popcorn watching all 3 of these teams make terrible decisions. They all have. I mean, I'll be honest. I was a pretty big Sean Payton fan, but he is not doing himself any favors this season so far. And I mean, I have my thoughts on Josh McDaniels. So whatever. I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I'll just sit back and enjoy it. And it's going to be great. They're all, the one thing I will say, and this is just because back to the Broncos, I am still such a big Frank Clark fan. I have so much respect for him. It does pain me a little bit to see him. And I don't think he played this weekend. He hasn't played the last 2 weekends. I believe he's hurt, but just the fact that he's on that team and, they're really going through it right now. And it bums me out to kind of sense that he's also going through it because I want him to still be part of the kingdom, but it's okay.
He's been injured too. I don't know if you saw that. He's dealing with a hip issue.
Is he on IR or he just was out last game?
No, I don't think he's on IR, no. Okay. I would need to check up on him to really know, but I don't think he played. But either way, wish Frank Clark the best, but he's been injured and the Broncos are not doing well. So with that being said, the Chiefs are first in the AFC West. It's a very limited sample size. It's only week 3, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go too crazy about it. But it's funny, like all the offseason talk, and I still think the Chargers are gonna be the toughest opponent for the Chiefs, but the Chiefs should hopefully find a way to get it done, especially if Brandon Staley wants to make stupid decisions. in
Yeah.
crazy game situations.
Their coach doesn't do them any favors. And then they also just lost Mike Williams, who's going to be a big loss for
You're
them.
right. He
He's out for the
tore Mike.
season.
Yep, Mike Williams tore his ACL, guys. If you didn't know about that, I don't really care what team you play for. I never root for injuries, so I hated to see that. And then, of course, like Monday Night Football, Joe Burrow. I mean, that's not AFC West, but Joe Burrow is not looking right either. They won that game, the Bengals did, against the Rams were so bad. You could have put at least some at high school out on the field against the Bengals. They would have put up a better fight. But, like, yeah, the Bengals got it done. But, dude, Joe Burrow he's limping around. He's not right. He's in pain. I hope the Bengals know what they're doing, talking about the medical staff, because I worry about him getting injured further at some point this season, and I don't want that. I want everybody healthy. I want the Chiefs to get everybody's best with as many healthy players as they can get. So I feel like we kind of hit the highlights around the league. Let's talk about another big deal. We won't spend a lot of time on it, but Taylor Swift was at Arrowhead, which was kind of crazy. One of the most popular, pop stars in the world. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because reportedly, I just saw it before we went live, she's supposed to be at Sunday Night Football versus the Jets. And I don't really care. They want to keep their dating life private. That's totally fine. But everybody's freaking out about it. Kelsey's jersey sales are up 400%. Chiefs ticket sales are higher than they have been since the season opener. On top of that, Kelsey's merch is selling more than just jerseys. They're selling out their podcast. The New Heights podcast is number 1 on Apple Podcasts. There's a lot of wild things going on with it, and we're not going to talk about it long. I know people don't care to even hear. Some people in chat don't even care to hear about Taylor Swift. I don't listen to her music, but like, it's crazy, just since the last weekend. And Everything Weather hit us with a 10, said, hey, Cole and Kylie, so excited to learn earlier today that Taylor is going to be at the Jets and Chiefs game. We're about to win 42-10. Can't wait to be at the same game as her. So, yeah, I mean, you're getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some people saying, I never want to hear about Taylor Swift again. You've got people who love it. And then people probably like me. I don't know where you lean, Kylie. I'm kind of just in the middle, like, cool. I mean, that's great. I don't really care that much. I think it's really cool, I guess, but if that's what they want to do, fine. The problem is they want to be private, but one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history is dating one of the biggest pop stars in the world. And Travis Kelce, I don't know if you listened to their podcast today, but he said, dude, I had paparazzi at my house. I've never had paparazzi at my house. I was getting in my car and had paparazzi across the street yelling my name with cameras and taking photos. I was like, oh my God. So any thoughts you have on that? And then we'll move right along to the next thing.
It's definitely propelled him to the paparazzi level, I guess you could say. But no, I mean, I think I'm not I don't know that I would call myself a Swiftie. I'm not someone who really listens to her music. Respect her a ton. I think she's a great artist. I know she writes all of her music. I think that's definitely respectable. It's just a lot. That's what I'll say. I think it's great. I want Travis to be happy, obviously. If that's with Taylor, that's great. I think for me, it's just because everybody's talking about it. It's causing a little bit of fatigue. But, and of course, like as a Chiefs fan who wants to attend games, I don't want to see prices go up because someone might see her there, or people with the wrong intentions going to games.
Hope not.
Yeah. I've seen some things about prices and ticket sales and searches for Chiefs tickets have kind of gone up a little bit. So, or, I don't want people there. Like Arrowhead's such an experience for the fans. So you don't want to see people there that are just there to get a glance at Taylor Swift. So hopefully we don't get to that point, but no, I think it's great. I definitely think it's respectable that he wants to respect their privacy. He spoke about that on the New Heights podcast earlier today, how, he's on a podcast every week. He's on Pat McAfee. He doesn't want to really have to bring her into all of that as much as she is in the public eye. That's not really where she is in the public eye. She's not on podcast every week. So I think that's really great. I'm happy for him. I want them. I hope nothing but the best for them. And, people are saying she's kind of a lucky charm because we beat the Bears the way we did. So yeah, bring it on. If she's going to be at games and we're going to beat teams by 30 points, I'm all for it. Can't be mad about that.
You know what? I'm just going to say this and then we'll move on. I found it ironic that how do I say it? The way that Taylor Swift was cheering in that suite, she was going crazy and being supportive. Just being supportive. That was it. I was like, dog, if that was Brittany Mahomes on camera, she would be getting freaking flamed on social. So annoying. I'm not like the double standard. Again, it's Taylor Swift. I get it. But I'm like, she's just being supportive. Just like Brittany Mahomes is being supported. Whatever. We'll move on. I understand last season in particular, it was a lot of Brittany and Jackson. So they associated negatively with both of them together, but they've kind of distanced over the last year. Jackson's in his own bit of trouble. Don't want to talk about that guy. But Brittany's, I mean, if you saw the quarterback documentary, you did. I know you did. But like, Brittany's just a supportive wife. They're high school sweethearts. And yeah, she's passionate and somewhat boisterous in her own way, but like, who isn't? I'm pretty annoying myself. I don't have as high pitched of a voice, I guess, and I'm not in the public eye like that, but I was just thinking about that. I was like, geez Louise.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. It's a little, I get a little upset anytime I see any sort of like Brittany Mahomes slander. So I agree. I think it's a little bit of a double standard there, but I also think that it was nice to see Taylor. Like, she looked really genuine in her cheering, and the fact that she was so chummy with his mom, I thought that was really great. So yeah, it seems to be, she seems to be really genuine, and they look like they had a lot of fun. And yeah,
let's yeah, we'll carry on. Let's carry on. What do you think about this? Because I get this question asked quite a bit. Why isn't Justin Ross getting passes? He had 30-something routes last week. Had one pass, one target his way. Incomplete. It was broken up. It was in the beginning of the game. Now, the spike in his snaps were because the Chiefs pulled starters in the third quarter, the beginning of the third quarter, after the first drive. So then you had an uptick in Rashee Rice's snaps, an uptick in Justin Ross's snaps, and they might have been the only two. Because Montreal Washington he's the returner, but not getting any offensive snaps right now. But you have thoughts on that? A lot of people are like, where's Justin Ross? And I'm like, my thoughts are, I think it's just a slow game. They're slowly working him in. He's basically wide receiver 6, 7 on the depth chart right now. And people don't like when I say that, but I'm just like, well, that's kind of how they're viewing him right now. And hopefully, maybe as the season goes along, he'll continue getting more looks and more reps, because he is getting open on some of his stuff. But Mahomes is targeting other people. He's targeting Kelsey. He's targeting Sky Moore. He's Sky Moore, but Sky Moore is his last name. He's targeting Sky Moore. He's targeting Rashee. And then obviously Kelsey, if I didn't say that already. Like, Kelsey is wide receiver 1 for all intents and purposes. So I think the problem is, I guess I asked you the question, then I'm giving you my thoughts and turning it back to you. But like,
go for it.
I don't think Justin Ross I don't think he's anywhere close to the first read on most of these plays. So like, yeah, maybe Justin Ross is getting open, which I've seen on the film. He's getting open sometimes, and he's not running a lot of reps or a lot of routes, but he's not the first read. He's probably one of the last. And so it's going to be a matter of, in my opinion, the coaches are going to have to just see that and then be like, all right, we're seeing him getting open. Patrick, you've got to start looking his way or whatever. But until then, I just don't know. I don't know that he's going to get a lot of looks for now. Maybe he'll continue getting a little bit of uptick in looks, but curious about your thoughts, and then we'll move on.
I mean, I think I agree with kind of what you're saying. I think he's just more of that, there's 7 wide receivers in that room. Well, 6, I guess, because Richie James is on IR, but 6 wide receivers. He might be wide receiver 6, wide receiver 5. But I also think that the first couple of games, I felt like there were too many cooks. Like, nobody could get in a rhythm. Nobody was really building that chemistry. There was just a lot of spreading the ball around. And I know that Ross wasn't really part of that, but I think that they're starting to see, we've got to get these guys in a rhythm. We've got to start building chemistry with them. And we can't do that if every pass is going to someone different. I also think a lot of it has to go back to who Mahomes is trusting. How much does he trust Ross? How much is he? I feel like he's really starting to trust Sky Moore a lot more. And obviously we know he's trusting Justin Watson. We've seen, I think he's the Chiefs. Technically he's wide receiver 1 right now based off of yards, I think. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's just a little bit about trust. And I think it's about kind of easing him in. He's coming off of some pretty extensive injuries. And I think getting into some real, I mean, preseason's one thing, but the game moves a little bit faster once you get into the regular season and everybody's playing their one. So I think it's a little different that way. But I think we'll see him a little bit more maybe as things progress and as Mahomes starts to trust him a little bit more. But I don't know that they're quite there yet. Not to say I don't want to see him out there. I think he's going to be great, but it's a slow burn.
That's it. You made me think of Usher, Let It Burn, when you said it's a slow burn, because Usher's in the halftime show. I don't know if did you hear about that?
Yeah, he got overshadowed by Taylor Swift that day. Yeah. This is going to be...
He got overshadowed like Joe Burrow trying to announce his contract extension during the Chiefs-Lions game. Like, dog, nobody freaking cares. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's your shirt from, really Kylie? Fun. Somebody just asked.
My shirt. Do you guys ever know, do you ever go to the Bunker? Do you ever go to the Bunker? It's in Westport. I got it from there last year during the Super Bowl. And they always have really cool, unique stuff. I don't know who makes their shirts. I think they do because they do local artists sometimes. And I'm pretty sure a local artist designed this. If you can hear me.
Here, I'll solo you. There you are.
Yeah. Boom.
The Reed Bowl with the walrus. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, I saw it on their website and I had to get it. So keep checking the Bunker. This is not a ad for them at all, but they always have unique stuff.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but they have really unique stuff.
I have a shirt from the Bunker that people ask about all the freaking time. It's the Mahomes face photoshopped onto the Lynn Dawson halftime photo where he's sitting in the locker room smoking a cigarette. They photoshopped Mahomes' face on it, and everybody's like, "Where did you get that shirt?" It's from the Bunker. Really good merch. So, Holly, thanks for the 5. That's where she got it from. Let's move forward here.
Thanks,
Holly. Let's look at this really quickly. We don't have to talk long about it. Time is already running nigh. I don't even know if that's the right saying, but let's look at the injury report real quick because there's a few people that popped up on there. 2 didn't participate. Noah Gray, he's sick. He'll be fine. Nick Bolton, with him not participating again, I am curious, how severe Nick Bolton's ankle sprain is. With him potentially being out again this week, it must be bad enough where it's going to take a little while, but maybe not bad enough to put him on IR. If they thought it was going to be bad enough, you'd think they'd put him there. So we'll see. But Nick Bolton didn't participate again after not participating all last week, and he did not play. Drew Tranquil, though, did a freaking fantastic job in Nick Bolton's stead. He spoke to the media today as well, and he did a really good job. Nick Bolton was also in his ear. So they've got, because Tranquil was helping line everybody up as the mic. And Nick Bolton was in his ear as well as I would assume Spags. I don't know the exact chain of command there, but he said Nick Bolton was being helpful and reminding him of stuff as well, which was super cool. But 2 limiteds. Kadarius Toney, not surprising, but Chris Jones limited with a groin injury of sorts, which also explains to me why he only played 18 snaps against the Bears. I thought, they just pulled him because they were starting to dominate. Well, that also, to me, makes me wonder because they signed defensive tackle Matt Dickerson to the 53-man roster today or yesterday, as well as wide receiver Montrell Washington to return kicks and punts while Richie James is on IR. But now I'm over here Matt Dickerson got signed to the roster, who he was called up anyway, week 1 and week 2, and played.
Right.
But dude, Chris Jones, soft tissue injury after holding out all of training camp, all of preseason, and week 1, which was my biggest fear when somebody holds out like this, is the potential chance of getting injured. And that was Spags' fear. He talked about it a couple times during pressers. Now, that being said, this wasn't mentioned today by Andy Reid to the media, and I almost think it was strategic. I almost think he did not bring it up, so he did not have to answer questions about it. I hope it's minor, and I hope Chris is good to go, if not this week, within the next couple. Thoughts on that, if you have any?
You nailed it pretty well on the head. I think, obviously, a big concern was, is he going to be, he's in shape, but is he going to be in football shape? I mean, that's a lot of reps he's taking. He's in different positions. He's rushing a QB. He's tackling a QB, things that he probably wasn't doing when he's just in Florida running sprints and lifting weights and whatever else. So I do think That was a little bit because of the fact that he wasn't at training camp, the fact that he wasn't in preseason. You just have to wonder. I hope that since he was just limited, that means that it's not that severe. So we'll see. I also wonder if, like you said, we were playing the Bears. How much do you really need him out there? And by the way, defense is doing a great job with limited snaps from Chris Jones and no Nick Bolton. To think that our defense is still doing that. I mean, we've got depth in position, so that's really great to hear. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to think too much into it. Like you said, Andy didn't mention it, so I'm hoping that he was either glossing over it because it's not a big deal and he doesn't want people to make it a big deal. And hopefully we see him as a full participant tomorrow. And hopefully he doesn't miss any time on Sunday. That would be a bummer.
Yeah, I'm only a little concerned because those groin injuries they can linger. So we'll see. The situation was weird. It is what it is. Chris Jones is back now. I'm happy. He looked great and dominant in his first game back, in particular week 2. But then shortly into his second game back, they kind of pulled him. And I would assume he did it during the game because he only played 18 snaps. We'll see. I'm not overly concerned, but it was worth noting. Then there's a bunch of other people on there on the injury report. We don't have to really, because they're all full participants, but Mahomes was on there, ankle, but he fully participated. You've got Brian Cook on there, Mike Edwards, Willie Gay, Nick Jones, Pacheco, Donovan Smith, Snead, Jalen Watson, Justin Watson, both the J Watts, but they're all full. They all fully participated.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, but look at that. You look at the Chiefs. You ready for the Jets? It's like 5 people.
Yeah, I definitely don't care for how many people are on that list, even if they are full participants, just to know that they're dealing or being bothered by something, whether it's, I think there was a rib injury for Donovan Smith, maybe.
Yeah.
Someone had a rib.
Do you remember Donovan got pulled out of the game and he was hurt? It was that.
Do.
Yep.
Man, I've had a rib injury. They're no joke. So, like I said, even though they're full participants, anytime something's bothering them, whether it's a finger or a rib or a hand, it's a little concerning. And that is quite a hefty list. So hopefully, I mean, the good news is we've got an amazing athletic training staff, so I have some confidence in them. And that's always reassuring whenever you're looking at an injury report. Yeah, I think it'll be okay, but it's just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's just worth noting, worth looking at. Most of these guys that are fully participating, I'm not that worried about. I am curious to see how Mahomes' ankle looks. We won't really know till Sunday. Andy Reid said it's a basketball sprain, and he'll probably be a bit stiff, but he didn't make it seem like it was as bad as the sprain that happened against the Jags game, which that looked horrible. I mean, I thought he was probably done for the postseason. So this is it looked way less intense, I guess, the way that his ankle got hit and stuff. But Mahomes also basically said, yeah, it scared me because it was the same ankle. It kind of freaked me out. So, maybe he overreacted slightly, but he was also in pain. He's on the injury report. We will definitely see. We will definitely see. Let's talk, before we do this giveaway here in a bit, let's talk Chiefs and Jets. We've got the Chiefs, who are bouncing back from a great game against the Bears, one of the worst teams in the NFL, so whatever. But confidence sparked in the offense. They put up 41. That's no small feat, no matter who you play. They're going up against a Jets defense that, upon researching, on paper they're great, but they're not doing as well so far as I thought they would be doing. And I think there's a couple of factors as to why. So right now, the Jets defense, what are they? They're the 12th best in points allowed, which is pretty good. They're 20th in yards allowed. Now, I think some of that, the factor of that is the offense is horrible. The Jets offense is horrible. They average 15 points per game, worst in the NFL, and they average 225 yards per game, worst in the NFL. The offense can't stay on the field. So the defense of the Jets is always out there. They're getting gassed. They're getting gashed because they're tired. The defense will do Zach Wilson and company a favor and get the opposing team off the field. And lo and behold, Zach Wilson doesn't know what he's doing. He's thinking of his mom's friends and throwing incompleted passes and taking checkdowns. I will actually then say this before I pass it to you. In defense of Zach Wilson, he was not expecting to play this season. They catered the offense around Aaron Rodgers. They brought in weapons for Rodgers, former Packers, Randall Cobb. You've got Lazard. They have McCole Hardman, who's not playing. But then they have some other weapons. They got Breece Hall. They brought in Dalvin Cook. Garrett Wilson's out there. Like, he's probably the best receiver, bar none. But they build this team around Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers tears his his Achilles, and he's out for the season. Zach's not him, but he also wasn't set up for success, in my opinion, either. I'm not going to complain about it. I think the Chiefs are going to come in and win this game. They're going to go into New York and win with Taylor Swift watching once again. But would love to hear your thoughts. You can weigh in on one side of the ball if you want, then we'll flip.
I'll just keep going with defense. Yeah, you mentioned it. They actually, on paper, I think coming off of last season, we thought this defense was going to keep rolling, but they've actually struggled quite a bit. One in particular, Sauce Gardner, has not had quite the season he had last year. He's really struggling with missed tackles. He's not been great in coverage. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but that is not, I think, what they've anticipated from him coming into his second year. And then just up front, that whole line is really struggling. I think they've got 6 sacks on the season. Up. So through 3 games, so 6 sacks. Then we've got an offensive line that I think has proven that they can protect Mahomes and give Mahomes time to throw. So I don't know that they're going to have success against us this week either. And then additionally, I think they played the Patriots last week, and the Patriots scored 15 points on them, and they aren't really, with Mac Jones, they're not really a team that scores a lot of points. So just an example of kind of the caliber of play that they're used to. So I don't know. I think the defense is that their defense is going to struggle against us, and I think they're going to try and target Kelsey. And a lot of man-to-man, they might put Sauce on Kelsey, but I think when Kelsey's locked up, we're going to see Rashee Rice. I think he made a really big impact last game, and then that kind of opens things up for Sky Moore, who actually has been getting open a lot more. He's been, I feel like he's been on a steady progression up. I know we were just going to talk about defense, but I switched over to the offense. I'll let you go.
Do your thing.
Well, I was just going to say Sky Moore has really impressed me, so I'm excited to see him keep going.
Yeah, he's definitely looking better, trending up, and that's what we need to see for Sky in year 2. You mentioned the O-line for Mahomes. Pete Sweeney tweeted something out today from Next Gen Stats. Patrick Mahomes has faced the lowest pressure rate of his career this season, 25.4% pressure rate allowed for Patrick Mahomes. He's been sacked 1 time, which is tied for the fewest, I think, in the NFL. He might actually now be the fewest. I haven't looked at it in a couple days. But that's some good news, I think, for the Chiefs and their offense. Kelsey is basically back healthy. He's not even on the injury report anymore. He's not even listed as on the injury report and fully participating. He's just good to go. Freaking nature. Now, I do think the Jets secondary is the real deal. They've got some of the best cornerback, maybe quite possibly the best cornerback trio, if not top 3, top 5 in the NFL. So Mahomes and company, they're going to have to watch out for that. I think they'll game plan around it. Would love to see if they could get the run game established a little bit again with Pacheco and open some stuff up there. I guess I'm not that concerned about Mahomes and company on the offensive side of the ball, as long as there's not a repeat of the Lions game. There's not 8 passes dropped. You fail to establish any kind of a run game whatsoever, and you're relying on the pass game, but then they're dropping passes. And again, you can't really compare the Lions game because Kelsey wasn't even there, and they had a day and a half to prepare without him. I will say this, on the flip side, let's talk flip side for a second, as you brought it up anyway. The Chiefs defense, 4th in points allowed, 6th in yards allowed. These guys are the real freaking deal. This might be, in a small sample size, potentially the best defense of the Mahomes era. On top of that, Mahomes is getting the fewest pressures that he's ever gotten in his career in a small sample size, 3 weeks. But you allow Mahomes back there on offense to go through his reads without getting pressured. Then, on the defensive side of the ball, they're playing lights out. They're only allowing, they allowed, the Lions to score 14. Kadarius Toney had a pick 6, whatever. So that's not on the defense. Then they allowed the Jags to score 9, and then the Bears, they suck. But they put up 10 to the Bears. The Bears put up 10. But that was in garbage time. I mean, those guys are awful.
Right.
So I don't read too much into the Bears thing. But I do think the Chiefs defense is going to overwhelm the Jets on offense. I don't even care if Chris Jones is out there. I don't know that it matters. Spags is coaching out of his mind this season. I don't see no fire Spags in the chat. I don't see none of all y'all are quiet. All y'all are quiet about firing Spags because he don't need to be fired. He don't need to be fired.
No, he's coaching his mind out right now. And I think, too, back to, like, I just feel like even with an injured Chris Jones, if he's not able to be, if he plays only 16, 18 snaps in this next game, I mean, the Jets O-line is not good. They really struggle. They have no offensive line. That's the reason Aaron Rodgers is in the mess that he's in. And unfortunately, he got hurt, and that's a big bummer for the league. But that is because their O-line cannot secure and protect the quarterback. And you've got a quarterback like Zach Wilson who's not mobile. I think he's got like a 52% completion rate on the season. He's going to be very, very easy to get to, especially when you think about how well our defensive line has played. And I think not only should we contribute that to what Spags is dialing up with the different blitzes and everything, but I think Joe Colin has made a huge impact on this defensive line. And he's continuing to build on what he started last year when he joined the team, when he joined the coaching staff. And you're seeing it with George Karlaftis. You're seeing it with Mike Dana, two people who were here last year that have seen huge growth. So I think going up against this O-line, I think it's going to be kind of similar to last week. Our defensive line is going to eat, and it's going to be kind of ugly for them. Yeah.
Well, one of their tackles are on the injury report too.
Correct. Yeah, they've got some injuries.
Yeah. I mean, I'm intrigued to see how it plays out, but I have the Chiefs winning. I haven't even really thought too heavily about a score prediction, but I would be pretty surprised if the Chiefs didn't put up somewhere around 30, and would be very surprised if the Jets scored over 10 to 13 points. I mean, unless there's some foolish mistake by the Chiefs offense and the Jets defense capitalizes on that, maybe a pick or something like that, that gives the Jets offense a super short field, I do not see the Jets driving down the field on the Chiefs and putting up a lot of points. So I'm going to just roll with the Chiefs. I'm going to go 32 to... I'm going to go 13 again. I'm going to go 32-13. I was way off on my score prediction. We were both off on our score prediction for the Bears game, and it's just our best guess. But, like, my whole thing was, I just want to see that when I said I think the Chiefs 24, Bears 13, I said I'm fine with it to be a bigger blowout like they're predicting. I just need to see the Chiefs offense show it to me. And they definitely showed it to me. They were back like they never left. So I'm comfortable again with the Chiefs dropping over 30 or more and the Jets not even scoring 15.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Jets haven't scored. I think they've scored 10 points each of the last two games that they played. They played the Cowboys and the Patriots and only put up 10 points in each of those games. I don't see them getting over 10. Yeah.
Average 15 a game right now, 32nd in the NFL. And they're playing against the Chiefs defense.
Right. So I don't see them improving much beyond that 10 points. I'm going to go, and you're right. I was a little low on my points last time because I just needed to see more from the offense. It's okay. It's okay. They've showed me last week against the Bears that they can put up some points, and they're starting to get things figured out. I'm going to go 35-10.
All right.
That's a bold. I think primetime Pat, you're going to see him. I think you're going to see a lot more from Rashee Rice. I think you're going to see a lot more from Sky Moore. I feel like Justin Watson is always good for like 2 deep passes a game, which I've loved seeing. I love the connection and the chemistry he and Mahomes have built. So I'm going to go 35-10. Yeah, it's going to be electric. What uniform are they wearing? Like just red? Are they wearing all white or anything? Do we know? Not that it matters.
I don't think they're wearing anything.
Like they're going
the buff, baby. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't know who's wearing what. I think that would get views. I think Swifties would be scarred for life, so can't be doing that. Yeah, I don't know what they're wearing, to be honest, but I can't wait for the Chiefs. I don't know when they're going to do this, but I can't wait for their red on red. I know they're not even home. I like their red on reds.
No,
Just 1 week.
Cole.
You don't like their red on
No.
red? I do.
I'm sorry,
Just for
we
1
have to
week.
disagree. Guys, it doesn't happen often, but I have to disagree with Cole right now. My favorite uniform combination is the all whites. I think they're icy.
I like those
They
a
look
lot too.
great. They're clean. They're all red. I think I've just been scarred because I've seen a few games, and I think this statistically they win the same amount as they lose when they wear the all red. But kind of reminds me of ketchup. And as a big ketchup fan, I don't know why, but yeah, no, it's okay. A lot of people like the all red. I think I'm definitely in the minority that I don't like the all red.
Totally fine. We wouldn't see it in New York anyway, I don't think, but I kind of wish the Chiefs would do an alt helmet because I'd love white on white with like a white alt helmet. I just think that would be so clean, icy.
I love all the all white. Yeah. Because I think the Jets did it. The Bengals have it. The Browns now have the all white helmets as well.
Hey, the Bengals wore their all whites on Monday. They had the white out at their stadium. And my wife, she's so funny. She was like sitting there watching and she just starts laughing, like belly laughing, like out of nowhere. And I was like, what's so funny? She's like, they look like zebras. And she just couldn't stop laughing about it. So the Cincinnati Zebras in the house getting the dub. Thought that was pretty funny.
That's funny. Their end zones were all like zebraed out too, if you remember.
Yep.
So I definitely get that. I
was like, it's a alt Bengals uniform. She's like, nah, they're freaking zebras, and she couldn't stop laughing about it.
I don't think the Chiefs will ever do, and I guess you never say never, but I just don't see them ever doing an alternate helmet. They love the classic look, which is fine. I think they've got a good classic look. I think a white helmet would be cool, but
it's a Clark Hunt thing in honor to his dad. Is what it is. Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Well, guys, here in the next 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to do this giveaway. If you weren't here at the beginning, we are giving away a signed Creed Humphrey helmet from Creed Humphrey football from Chiefs Bids. It's legit. It's got the sticker on there. It's, Chiefs Bids is direct partner with the Chiefs. You can access them through their app. And what you need to do is go to the pinned comment on this stream, click on that video and comment #Creed is good in the comment section. And we're going to give that away in 2 minutes. And I forgot to do this last week. And I want to do this before we do the giveaway. I do want to give a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. They're running a crazy promo right now. You can double your first deposit. So for new customers, double your first deposit up to $500. This says $100 because that's the normal promo, but it's up to $500. They will match it. Use code HBTC. It's been a lot of fun, man. I'm doing the pick'ems every week, selecting higher or lower for Chiefs players or depending on who they're playing. 1 week I hit 4 out of 5, and you put 50 down, and if I would have hit all 5, it would have been 1,000. I was like, please. I didn't get it, but it's just super fun. And then we've got drafts going on. They have all kinds of stuff going on there. Super huge shout out to Underdog, man, because they're sponsoring me for the entire football season, which allows me to do things like hire Troy, like do this show. So, we can put out extra stuff for you guys, and I'm super, super grateful for that. But matching up to 500, it's pretty crazy. Do you do any fantasy sports stuff, Kylie?
I'm into fantasy football leagues, but I'm not. I don't do like.
Go ahead and chat about that for chat about that for a half second. I'm gonna pull up this giveaway stream, and then we'll answer a couple of these super chats.
I'll be happy to chat about my fantasy.
Are you winning? Are you winning your league?
I am 3-0, top of the leaderboard in one of my leagues. So pretty pumped about that. And then I'm in a dynasty league. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but basically you build your team and you're on the same league for the next however many years. But that one I'm not doing so hot in. I'm 1-2 in that league. So starting to figure some things out in that league and get my team chemistry going. But no, 3-0 in the other one. So I'm gonna ride that high for a little bit and hopefully keep winning. It's a lot of fun. I just started fantasy football last year, so I'm still kind of learning things, but I'm really enjoying it. I do forget to set my lineup, which can sometimes get me in trouble because then I have people on IR out there. And I'm like, why did I play you? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. So,
and dude, I'm so busy running the channel, managing fam. That's Underdog's the best because they handle all that automatically. If somebody's injured, they'll swap it out for you and do all that. So Underdog for me, I just it's like plug and play. And I'm like, yep, go do your thing. Do it. So that's what I like about Underdog for sure.
I got to get an Underdog then.
You got to. You could join the league. Join the HBTC league. We'll dominate.
I think I might. I need another thing. I need another league to be in. That'd be perfect.
I'll hit you with the deets.
Do it.
So real quick, we'll answer these. There's only 4 super chats, but Chiefs fan said, "Yo, Cole, going to the Jets game Saturday. Enjoy your time, man. So awesome. Everything weather already with the 10. We already talked about that. Thanks for the 10 bomb, brother. Yep, Taylor's going to be at the game again, I guess, reportedly. So it shouldn't be, in my opinion, as big of a deal as the first time, but who freaking knows? Maybe they'll show her every time anyway. I think somebody said they showed Taylor Swift on screen more times than the Bears scored points, which was actually freaking funny. Holly, thanks for the 5. Yeah, we already plugged the shirt. And then On the Money said, keep crushing it, you two. Loving the Wednesday podcast.
Aww.
Let's go. And we had a couple.
Thank you.
We had a couple memberships as well. Daniel gifted a membership. Chiefs KT said Taylor's going to be at the game. Thank you for that, Chief. Harry Countryman said, loving the Wednesday live stream, Kylie and Cole. How about those Chiefs? Chris Wright with the 9 months said 34-13 final. Sup, Kingdoms. Joy Taylor. Loving the KC Wednesday nights. What's up, Kingdoms, Joy Taylor?
Thank you. That's always a sweet. That's so nice.
And then Daniel with another gifted. Let's go. From here, we're going to do this giveaway.
Oh my gosh.
So,
are you ready?
Maybe.
I'm so excited.
Whoa.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's fun to do it live. Like, that's how I do most of these. So it's this link, which just to show you guys. So this video. This is the right video. It's Cole and Kylie, I think episode 3 is what it should be. Yep, Cole and Kylie episode 3. And let me go back to this bad boy. We're going to filter duplicate users. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Basically, some people will spam the same comment like 50 times on my video thinking that they'll get more entries, but I filter all those out just so everybody has the same chance. We're going to filter by words or hashtags, which is Creed is good. Number of winners is 1. So we're going to get YouTube comments. We have 135 comments with hashtag Creed is good.
Ooh.
That's awesome. That's fire.
Awesome.
And we filtered duplicates. So let's just say this, dude, if you guys come to the live stream, because we're going to be doing this probably every week now, so much better of a chance to win than on Twitter. We did that Justin Ross jersey giveaway, Kylie, where they had to follow me and you and retweet, and there was 3,500 retweets. You had a 1 in 3,500 chance to win on Twitter. For this, you have a 1 in 135 chance. Way better.
Way better.
Basically better.
Doubled your chances.
You gotta rock
know.
gotta show off your signed McKinnon jersey. He just put up two tutties.
I know. And I was mentioning earlier that I'm getting it framed. It's going to the framers.
That's fire. I actually want to bring in somebody and help me frame a couple things. I have a signed Kelsey jersey now and a freaking signed Mahomes jersey now, which is crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Crazy. And then got a signed Tyreek jersey, just a Jamal Charles jersey. There's just a few that is like, I want to show that. Anyway, with all that being said, somebody's about to get a signed Creed football. And I think I'm going to refresh it one more time and make sure that a couple people didn't sneak in right here, and then we'll do the giveaway. So I'm going to refresh. We'll paste in the same link. Filter duplicate users. Where's the freaking hashtag? There it is. Creed is good.
Creed is good.
That was Kylie's idea for the hashtag, by the way, which makes sense. So
Creed is good.
Oh, no.
A few more.
Was there 5 more or 4 more?
Yeah, it was 135.
Okay, cool. We got 4 more snuck in. All right, let's run it. Ready? Na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na-na. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Who's going to get it? R&B.
Ayy.
R&B.
Yay!
Yo.
How exciting. Congratulations.
Is R&B in the chat? Yo, look who just... Dude, funny Marco with the 20 bomb said, I need to come on your show. Bro, you are more than welcome anytime. If anybody knows who Funny Marco is, huge YouTube channel, does a lot of pranks. He has the straightest face in the most funniest situations. Like I could not do what he did and maintain the straight face. He also, dude, I need to hit him up about this. Funny Marco, he did an interview with that crazy viral lady who did all those random interviews with all the celebs. She popped off by interviewing Drake in a bed. Remember that lady?
I have.
But she's super like sarcastic and like you don't understand her humor if she's being serious or not. He did an interview with her, so I got to hit him up and talk about that. Marco, you're welcome to come on the show anytime, brother. We'll set something up. We'll set something up for sure, man. I appreciate the 20 bomb, and I appreciate you as always. He's a big Chiefs fan. He's from the Kansas City area, so he
for real?
He was here for the parade. Yeah. So him, and then there's another big YouTuber, Big Dawes, if you know who that is. He's another big YouTuber, but he does like pranks and stuff. But he's from Kansas City too. These guys, like
all the
Funny Marco,
pranksters.
Big Dawes, they just randomly like kind of hit me up. They're like, dude, I love your Chiefs stuff. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Because I grew up watching YouTube. So like I grew up watching Funny Marco. I grew up watching Mac Lethal, who we've had on the show before, and he's a big fan of the channel too. So
it's come full circle. It's all come full circle.
It's been really cool. Is R&B in here? R&B in the chat? R&B 1, let's go.
Yes,
Let's go.
congratulations.
Hey, R&B, you need to DM me on Twitter or something. Oh, I missed your $5 super chat. Oh, let me pull that up. You must have donated that when right when we switched off here. Ghost with the 5. I'm going to be traveling to Raleigh, North Carolina tomorrow. Wish me safe travel, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Yes, sir, for the members only Zoom call. Yes, sir. Heck yeah, man. And then he sent another 2 bomb saying you missed it. It's my bad. My bad, brother. I did miss that. I don't know how.
Safe travels. Safe travels.
Yeah, R&B, can you message me on Twitter? Do you have Twitter? Or X? I don't know. Whatever people call it these days.
I can't
One
call
of
it
those
X.
two.
I can't call it that.
Yep, R&B's in the house. I see. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Cole, stand up. You like the shirt? Stand
Spin
up.
around. That's dope.
This shirt's fire. Dude, this is from Breaking Tea. BreakingTea.com. And bro, I found the coolest shirt on Breaking Tea, but it's sold out. Look at this. Oh, they don't even have it anymore.
I'm always looking for more tees.
It was a Taylor Swift shirt, Travis Kelce shirt.
Of course, it's sold out. It's sold
Dude,
out in like
it's actually kind of fire. Look at this.
Got it?
Let me just go like this and do this. Look at this shirt.
Dang,
I
do need
fire,
this shirt.
dog. It's sold out though. It's actually fire. I was like, oh my gosh. And they were sold out. So it is what it is.
I bet Etsy.
Kylie,
I don't know if you ever look at Etsy, but they probably have
haven't
some cool
in a while. I got this from Etsy. This.
Oh,
not the
yeah.
YouTube plaque. This thing. Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get out of here, do you know what you're cooking yet for Sunday night? We always talk about it.
Yeah, we do always talk about it. And I actually have really grown to love this part of the show because I love talking about food. So, so Sunday is actually our wedding anniversary, our first year of marriage. So we will be celebrating. We're going to be watching
the 1 year.
Yes, it's the 1 year. So we're going to do a little bit more upscale for this one. I think we're going to do some surf and turf. So going to get some steaks on the grill. It's supposed to be like 90 degrees because, it's still summer, I guess. And we're going to do some steaks on the grill. I think I'm going to get some lobster tails. I don't know if you're into that or into seafood at all, but we're going to do a little surf and turf. A little fancy for a game, but we figured with it being our anniversary, like let's turn it up a bit. So it's just going to be the two of us. We aren't going to have any people over. We normally have a couple friends over, but it'll just be the two of us yelling at the TV, celebrating our marriage together. It's good though. It'll be great. We're excited.
That's right. Well, congrats on the 1 year. Ron with the 10 said Cole will be going to the Christmas Day game. That should be an easy Christmas present for you against the Raiders, man. So enjoy that. But Kylie, congrats on 1 year. And I think because of that, you're going out of town, right? So we might we'll skip a week, Cole and Kylie, unless I find a guest. It won't be Kylie to fill in, but maybe I'll have a guest. Because you're out of town, right? For sure on Wednesday?
Yeah, I won't be in town. We're heading out of town for vacation. So
yeah, kind of like anniversary / vacay time, right? Yeah, so
yeah.
enjoy that.
Well, our anniversary is Sunday, and then his birthday is on Monday. So
Okay,
there's like
so
two
you're like
things
making a
to
week of
celebrate.
it.
Yeah, we got double doozy happening. So
Yeah, that's freaking fire.
you
You're
know,
talking about steak and
yeah.
seafood. I'm gonna play this video, but I'm gonna mute it so I can tell you for some context. Give me a half second here. Well, that definitely shouldn't be over this. But let me see if I do this. So I got sponsored by Good Chop. They were an ad last week. But dude, they're steak and seafood that ships right to your door. And we made a bunch of meals out of them. And it was a grand old time we made steak, salmon, bacon, shrimp, like all this stuff. And yeah, they were a sponsored ad, but it was a great company to work with, and we had so much good food that couldn't turn it down. And when you were talking about it, I was like, man, we just had all that food this weekend. It was so fire.
That looked amazing. I'm gonna have to look into Good Chop. Gotta get on my
Hashtag
meats.
HBTC 120. It's over.
Aye.
There's an ad somewhere. There's a plug in there somewhere, but I didn't really have the stream set up to talk about it. But you were talking about steak and seafood, and I was like, yo, we just had that this weekend.
Yeah.
We have
Is
the
it like
meats.
full meals? It's just the meat. They just send the meat. It's not like a meal kit. It's like meats.
No, so it's not like there's some out there that they send you everything you need for the meal. This is just like your protein source, and then you can add whatever sides you want yourself. But you can buy like the box in like a package, and you could buy it monthly if you want, and you could put different cuts in there. You can do ground beef, chicken, like there's all kinds of stuff you can mix. Dude, it was fire. It was fire. Cole, did you?
Great.
Cole, did you do okay using your catchphrase? Which catchphrase? Yeah, anniversary requires lobster.
See?
Madman says, love the constant content, Cole. I'd lose my mind if I ran into you down here in KC. Yo, I was walking Maddie around the block yesterday, and this guy just slowed down and pointed at me and smiled. So I just smiled and pointed back. He DMs me on Twitter later, and he goes, dude, was that you walking your daughter? He's like, my son was starstruck. I was like, bro, you should have. I was like, first off, he doesn't need to be starstruck. It's just me. But next time, have him say what's up. Like, stop and say what's up. So
That's so neat.
Kylie's a legend here, though.
No.
She got her own show. She got her own show. Well, Kylie and Cole. It starts with your name, so
It's our
your show.
And it's Kylie and Cole because it spells out KC. I don't know if we've talked about that yet. Kansas City, KC, Kylie and Cole.
KC Chiefs, make them taste these cleats. All right, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here, Kylie.
Well,
Thanks so
I'm sad
much
I
for
won't be
hanging
here
out.
next week. But I'll be back in 2 weeks. Not next week.
We'll have you virtual. We'll do a virtual recording, and I'll just time your answers.
Perfect.
Just put you there virtually. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we'll either not do a show Wednesday, or I might bring in a guest, maybe like Funny Marco or somebody, and we'll do a stand-in.
Marco.
We'll do a stand-in.
Funny Marco. I love
we'll
the
see.
idea of Funny Marco.
Hit a couple people up.
Yeah.
But enjoy your trip, enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
And with that being said, we'll be back in 2 weeks celebrating the Chiefs getting 2 more dubs, and then Charles and Minihue will be back shortly after that.
Whoo.
So I appreciate y'all hanging out. Appreciate all the super chats, all the memberships. Congrats to R&B, who did DM me on Twitter, I believe, about that helmet. Well, if you are able to DM me, I don't see a DM yet. I don't think. I don't see a DM yet on How About Those Chiefs. But hit me in the DMs. We'll get this Creed Humphrey ball sent out to you, and then we'll give something away next time too. We've got all kinds of stuff to give away. We have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff to give away. And with that being said, guys, until next time, let's go.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go.
How about those Chiefs?